And welcome to the show. This is Sean.
What show are we in? This is a little.
It's the Star Geeks. Come on, man. Don't even start.
Sorry,
Steve, you all right?
Yeah. Somebody was going through the gate outside. I was trying to mute the microphone. I apologize.
It's Wednesday. I get it. It's not Saturday. I understand.
Did you not hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're fine. Ed didn't introduce himself.
Ed, you introduce yourself.
I didn't realize he was done. I thought he was still.
Your mic.
This is Ed.
Your mic sounds crazy.
I was going to say, you sound very robotic, Ed.
Yeah, there's something wrong with your mic.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it's a little
crackly.
Glitchy. Yeah.
No, crackly. Not good at all. Let's see.
You are. Oh, man.
Wow. This is
we were on. You guys were on before, right?
Today, man. Oh, God, what's going on?
We're a bunch of old men. Nothing's working. Like like when you wake up out of bed and your legs are sore, you're like, why are my legs sore? Just because I laid down for 5 hours.
Yo, that is a story of my life every goddamn day. Every time I get up in the morning, it's like, yo, what's wrong with my legs? Like I feel like I played basketball the other night. Like it's crazy. I don't make sense.
But all you did was sit and lay down. Like you didn't even walk. Like
that's all I did.
It's like what? For 8 hours I sat at my desk and now I can't move. It's like
it don't make no sense. It's fucking ridiculous. So what's going on, man? What's up? How's everybody doing this week? Everybody's good. It's only Wednesday. We still have another show to do on Saturday, but
we do.
And, hat, Sean? Your imperial hat?
That's an old hat. Ed, your mic your mic sounds bad. Yeah, you maybe have to like fix it a little bit and turn your head a little bit. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I mean, it sounds good on my end, but I guess it's not coming through right.
No, not at all.
Yeah, did you change something? You changed options on your shit or something?
No. I tried to do something after you told me, but I mean, I'm assuming it sounded good before the show started.
Yeah,
it did. You sounded all right before the show. I don't know what happened.
It's like crackly and like really sped up. It's like
yeah.
All right. Well,
you actually kind of going in and out too. You like kind of whatever.
Talk my day for a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Well, Ed's dropping off from that, so he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back.
I mean, I don't want to get into Star Wars news too much. I know Ed's got a slide deck, but I guess we should just get into it and we'll get his opinion.
I mean, we gotta talk about the pretty much the highlight of the week.
What, the cancellation of Acolyte?
Yeah.
How is that a highlight?
Because no more of that.
I don't. Again, like you could have taken. You could take those characters. And
What's up, Al?
What's up, Al? You can take those characters and you can tell an even better story. I was really intrigued to. I know people are calling him Darth Teeth and stuff, but like, dude, he had some of the best Jedi fight scenes in all of Star Wars. Like
they'll keep the choreographers, but we're done with all that.
But I also thought he acted well as a whatever you want to call him. I don't know if he was a Sith Lord or not yet. I thought like build off of his character. I want to see more of him. I don't need to see her. I don't need to see whatever I don't know I can't remember the bald lady's name. Like I don't need to see that, but I want to see more of him. Maybe it's a cancellation of Acolyte, but maybe it's a Darth Plagueis series that continues on.
Too bad. Not gonna happen. No, that's not happening.
And so, I mean, we jumped in real quick, but I mean, you have it already probably queued up.
There it is.
There you go.
We know you liked it, but none of us did. So for me, this is not bad news. I'm cool.
It's not really bad news. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it at all. But I mean, I think.
I'm not saying it's bad that they canceled it. No, the show probably deserved to be canceled. If it was any other show on any other network, it would be canceled, right? Like a lot of this stuff was not great. I was picking out things that I thought it's weird. It's funny because I talk about this. I'm not going into like speeches about like you got to do the basics right. this show did none of the basics right. Like it didn't give us a basic story, but it had some super crazy highs.
The highlights were incredible.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like build off that, get a new team in, get a new this and get whatever. And maybe that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe Acolyte is done, but maybe they can build off into this timeline, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like you got to get the basics right? Like the blocking and tackling, right? Al, right there, the blueprint, right? You get the blocking and tackling right, and then you hit those highs. Because even, and we'll talk about it in our review of Phantom Menace, I felt the same with Phantom Menace. Like there's some basic blocking and tackling that didn't go well, but then it's like boom, you get these crazy highlights. I think that's what this show felt like.
I think this show was doomed from the beginning. I think that when you have your director saying this, and this, I think that everybody already had a bad taste in their mouth.
You alienate fan base by doing that.
You totally alienated the fan base. And from that point, from there,
that was their goal. I mean, they said as much. Our goal was to alienate.
It was her goal.
It's like,
I don't know if it was everybody's goal.
Yeah, but that's how you get shows canceled, man.
Congratulations, you did it.
Yeah, you fucked up. Like that was something that they should have corrected that from the beginning, and I felt like they didn't even say anything. They just kind of just left it. They didn't tell her to shut up. They didn't say, yo, can you just be positive? Like just this is what and I get it. It's like, yo, you wanna do something new, and I understand it, and I get it, and I do understand it, but the people that are watching this are old Star Wars fans. There's not going to be really a lot of bunch of kids watching these kind of shows. Maybe the new one that's coming out. Skeleton Crew.
That's the focus, though.
It's geared towards kids. Yeah, this was older, and I think they fucked up by telling this story within the timeline. They should have went back further to the old Republic era of shit and gave us something from that. At least you had
High Republic, right? This is High.
Yeah,
High
like
Republic.
you had time. You had a lot of time to create something from there and not use canon Star Wars shit. Like there's one thing that people pointed out that really kind of killed it. Mundy, whatever the hell his name is, I can't remember his name, but
that wasn't him.
The Jedi, but he said it. The Jedi haven't been around for millennia or whatever. All right, so yeah, you fucked up. Like that's where you fucked up, because now you bringing in Sith during this time right here, and you're trying to tell us that, okay, well, did any of us not listen to fucking Phantom Menace? Did we not watch the Phantom Menace and be like, they didn't know anything? And then you're gonna it don't bode well for people.
But they fixed that. Everyone were dead at the end of this. There's
exactly.
But they fucked up because this was still within that realm.
Right. But Sean, they wrote it out. They
fixed that.
It up. They fixed that, Sean.
They didn't fix it. Did
they?
They
did. They did because there's no survivors. There's no witnesses. There's
nobody
that knows what happened is dead.
But there is witnesses. There's the one Jedi with the bald head, the green.
She
wasn't there.
Lied and she didn't say shit. And she wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
But I just
terrible anyways.
Anyway, that too.
Well, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like
it's just
lows are low.
It's just too close to the time frame. They should have pushed this shit out. They should have had a way better production, which they spent so much money on.
That was a big part.
They took way too much money on ship production, which was crazy. Like, Steve, we watch Game of Thrones. Their budget is probably less than Game of Thrones. And you're not kicking out that kind of level of stuff?
You can't compare the two. They're two different. They're almost two, like it's space stuff and dragons.
But it's not, though. It's still
a lot of green screen too with
the quality.
Star Wars and
the quality. Well, there's a lot of fucking green screen in Game of Thrones. They ain't running around them castles like that.
Oh, there is.
There's like a hallway of fucking bricks, and then.
But Steve, if you look at this as a whole, let's be honest, you could have came to that level. You could
Of
have
course,
brought.
we've
that
seen them
comic-
do it. We've seen them do it. They've done it with Star Wars on Disney Plus before. We've seen them do it.
It was just doomed from the beginning. There were
But,
just
but
too many
every creator that's in charge of every one of these showrunners is different. They're going to have a different take. Now, personally, my favorite has been what they did with Andor. You know, that showrunner. What's his name? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Gilliam? Terry Gilliam?
Tony Gilroy.
There it is. Oh, I had the T and the G right, but I couldn't remember exactly the right. Okay. But like that's been my favorite aesthetic that I've seen so far. I mean, I feel like if you added Jedi to that, I don't even know what that would that would just seem so crazy.
It's all in the story and the writing. If you get a good story with good character development, you know, you can have low production costs, but it's still going to be intriguing because it's the right story and production. So
we review a lot of scary movies for the geeks and a lot of shitty ones. And some of those shitty ones are like really bad budget, but like they try to do something awesome. You know, like the acting was good, you know, like but the special effects suck. So like sometimes you don't hold that against it if you can tell they were trying to do something good. But here from the ground up, I didn't like the story. I didn't like the characters. I thought too much stuff was telegraphed. Too much stuff wasn't explained. And when it was, I was like, that's it. All that for this? Like
no payoff.
A lot of it was and unfortunately in a world where a lot of shit is awesome, when you're meh, you're bad.
It's not enough.
That's it.
It's not
That's
enough.
just it.
Agreed.
And you know, if they'd have given us just a little bit of that money, we could have went and used it. Oh, wrong one.
Well, it's perfect to put it right there because only Sean would be able to buy this. So.
So yeah, that's what you need some of that money for. $1.34 million for an action figure.
You rich. Shut up. You joined Sean's club, so you shut your mouth over there. VIP fucking bracelets and shit.
One of 30.
One of 30 prototypes.
Yep. That they know of. I don't know if all 30 are in existence, but
that's ridiculous.
That's just crazy.
It's sometimes
3, 4.
Sometimes it makes you think it's like this is a piece of plastic. It's like it's a piece of plastic. Like why?
Someone's gonna get that and they're gonna look at that and be like, yes, $1.5 million.
At what point is it? I mean, I almost want to say it's wasted, but every time we talk about this, like in another year, another one of these will go for like $2.5 million.
Because the people that buy
it's almost
these,
like an investment.
That money doesn't even matter to them. Like if you buy an action figure with $1 million, then you have fuck you money.
Beyond fuck you.
You have wipe my ass with the world money. And
if I had wiped my ass with the world money, I'd have been bought that.
I would not, even if I did that.
Yeah, well,
I probably wouldn't. Yeah, that $1 million would have gone towards.
You know, y'all kill me. Y'all fucking kill me because you know
I'd have done it.
Well, exactly, Ed. I know you would have did it. Alil's a liar. He would have bought fucking Spider-Man #1 at fucking.
But that's not on the slide.
Amazing Fantasy 15. Yes, I wouldn't have bought both.
So you'd be like the collector. You'd have Tobey Maguire in a glass case behind you.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna remove you from this because I'm tired of this shit.
He would.
I'm gonna rent out Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield just to come to my house and hang out with me.
100%. That would be the best. I can see you doing that.
Yeah. Easily. Steve would have had a Megazord out in front of his fucking lawn and shit.
Easy. One that you can actually get in. Ride around and shit. They all turn into one.
Thank you, Al. Thank you.
Yep. Absolutely.
Nah, I would have used that $1 million to help, you know.
You noble bitch. You shut up. You would not. You'd be just like all these other rich assholes.
Build homes for the needy.
You'd what?
Yeah.
You said you what?
I would help build homes for people that need homes and stuff.
Yeah, you can do that too, but you can also buy $1.34 million piece of plastic.
Yeah, again, if you have $1 million to buy a toy with, it's not going to bother you to buy it.
No.
Like, you're not going to be like, oh, that's it, that broke me. No.
So this is the high end of Boba Fett. On the low end, There's been some talk to where Tamora Morrison was at a con and made comments that he was waiting for the phone call, because there's been a lot of talk with the upcoming Mandalorian Grogu movie that they're tying in all of these properties because they all sit in the same timeline. But he hasn't gotten the call. So he's kind of floated out there the idea, which kind of goes along with the Acolyte, that because Book of Boba was not so well received, that he's being kind of pushed to the side. So,
But he wasn't the problem with that show.
Yeah,
No, and the thing
yeah.
too with him is he can come back in a variety of characters, right? Like, you know, there's some clones
any clone
still out there, you know, that they could be a big part of this, especially with the tie-in with Ahsoka, right? So my thing is, he didn't get the call because that movie's not coming out until 2026.
Yeah, so
And they're still a long ways away. They just started some things. It's not like nowhere near being filmed, being fully put together. So there's still time.
He needs to keep the helmet on. Keep the helmet on.
Well, if that's the case, then they really don't even need to call him.
That is true as well.
Phone it in. Literally.
I would at least like to see him come back as Captain Rex. Good Lord, like give him that. Give him that. Give him that. Justice.
Yeah, let's be careful now. Like, Tamora Morrison's not going anywhere.
No.
He is the clones. He can't just they're like, nah, I don't work with him anymore. Like, oh yes, you do.
Yeah, they need to really find a way within there. I think he'll come back probably in Ahsoka season 2. Or, you know, maybe he'll make because everybody's really kind of waiting for it. Let's be honest. We're all waiting for him to be Captain Rex. I don't really give a shit about Boba Fett at this point. I want to see Captain Rex on film. That's it. That's all I want to see. One good time, like, yo, give him some airplay. I don't understand what's
this point.
Why are they waiting so long?
Like, you know, Boba Fett was cool, but then, you know, then we all got introduced to Din Djarin. Now Boba Fett's just like,
well, he fills the void that Boba Fett was, like the mysterious stranger,
right?
The lone gunslinger, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, no. So with that, between both this conversation with the Book of Boba Fett and of course Acolyte, rank them. These are the live action shows we've gotten.
Go ahead, give me. I'll be right back.
What do you think? If you're putting them in favorite, top to bottom.
I got mine already.
Oh yeah.
Number 1, Andor. Number 2, Mandalorian. Number 3, Ahsoka. Number 4, Obi-Wan. Number 5, Boba Fett. And number 6, Acolyte.
I'm flipping my 1 and 2 with you. I think Mandalorian, because if it wasn't for the Mandalorian, none of this stuff would happen. And Mandalorian season 1 to me is top.
Okay.
Mandalorian season 1 is fantastic. So Mandalorian for me.
Andor is the best.
And Andor 2 and Ahsoka, and then the rest can. I mean, I didn't hate Obi-Wan 4, Boba 5, Acolyte 6.
Obi-Wan again, another show that maybe missed the mark, but the highs.
Obi-Wan didn't miss the mark, though. I don't think Obi-Wan missed the mark either. I thought
Obi-Wan.
You putting Obi-Wan on top, Al? Wow. Or are you talking the actual show or the Patterson cut?
Bottom, golly,
man.
I still think Mandalorian's what everything's being built off at this moment. Like I'm taking that number 1.
Well,
I don't care if everything got built off of it. I still like Andor more.
Yeah.
Al said he loved it. The show. He goes with Obi-Wan as his favorite of the 6.
I almost was curious if you broke out the Mandalorian into seasons, but just left it all as one.
I think that's a good point.
What was y'all's list? What'd you say?
I'm the only one that well, me and Lil have the same pretty much, except I put Andor 1 and Mandalorian 2, and he swapped those.
And I agree with
sorry, go
with
ahead,
Steve in exact order. Andor, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Kenobi, Fett, and then Acolyte.
Yeah, I think I'm on that boat a little bit. I think shit. I like Andor, but I really like Ahsoka. I like Andor for what it was, but Ahsoka had that nice highlight of the Clone Wars that I really fucking loved. There's nothing really I love from Andor that was like, oh shit, that was amazing.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it. Fucking Stellan Skarsgård in the alleyway, the old lady's speech at the end, all that shit that went down with fucking
On the
with,
prison.
Gollum in the fucking prison
Oh,
thing.
I can't wait to rewatch that.
Damn, I just realized that shit too.
Oh,
Pretty much all of Andor. So
it
good.
was
that
ye-
robot that was like depressed or like had anxiety. That one droid.
Yo, real shit. You know what? I'm gonna switch my shit up. I'm gonna go Andor, Mando, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Boba Fett.
all right.
So-
Shupa!
3 against 1.
3 against 1. Shocking turn of events.
Andor was Andor was
I
good.
will put Acolyte at 1, which was crazy.
I believe him too. I believe him.
So, it's been a few years. They gave us some possible shows that a few of them have kind of pretty much gone along the wayside. We know we're getting Andor season 2. We know we're going to get Ahsoka season 2. We know we're going to get more Mandalorian. Is there anything within the timeline that you think would be great for a show?
No.
No?
Ewok. Give me an Ewok show.
I don't think we'll ever see Ewoks ever again. What you think?
Not
In
a
live
serious
action?
way.
Yeah,
They'd be
not
some
live.
background thing, if anything.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
we'll ever see Ewoks again.
No.
I gotta go back. Old Republic. I gotta go. I mean, I want to see fucking. I want to see Revan. Like, I want to see Darth Revan. I want to see that whole played out in the Old Republic shit. Like, I need that show, but let's go back Old Republic real shit. I think that's needed. I think a Darth Vader series is needed as well.
Yes.
I would like a Jedi Academy series.
That would be that has to be probably after Rey. You can't do it now because it's just
but there's a big time between where Luke is training Grogu and he has that falling out with young Kylo Ren, Ben over there.
Ben.
There's like good 20 years there or something. Like, you could do a whole crew of like young Jedis going out on missions and Luke
No.
and
nope.
We can
I think
see
the-
how Luke becomes a curmudgeon.
I think the problem with all those series is some of the stuff that we complain about. We already know the end.
Exactly.
Right.
I need something.
That's why
new.
even a Darth Vader series is like, what are they gonna do? That we've seen a lot of these comics Vader has a whole comic series that has been very popular. Yes, we haven't seen it on the show, but it's still like at the end we know where Vader ends. So it's like even the Obi-Wan show. I think I really do think. As much as I love Ewan McGregor and watching Phantom Menace, love him even more. But like, we knew where it was going to go. Like, it wasn't. There was no drama to it. There was nothing like. It might be why, again, I go back to Acolyte. Why, like, I was kind of like, I don't want to say like that the story was good, but I was curious because I didn't know what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what they were going to do at the end of Obi-Wan. You knew because you know where that story goes. Yeah, they're gonna if they do a Luke Skywalker
When
series.
Luke was in peril in Obi-Wan, you were like, at no point were you like, oh no.
Exactly. Oh, Leia. Okay.
Oh my God, Leia's loose. I wonder if she'll survive.
And that's a problem a lot of times with even prequels, right? Because if it's good, it's going to be good because they'll have some good things going, but how it's going to end. Sometimes they'll throw a little hook, they'll throw a little.
Problem is, I'm just not interested in where the Star Wars world is after Episode 9. Like,
if they bring in
the First Order and there's one Jedi running around named Rey Skywalker, boo.
Well, there's not one Jedi. They already showed that there are multiple people that are Force sensitive. I think.
Yeah, that wouldn't bother me at all. I'm okay with
But
that.
I do like Sean going back all the way back.
Oh heck yeah! I want to go back where there's like armies of Jedis, you know, dropping in from ships all armored out with their lightsabers and shit. Like, yeah,
And that's where they messed up.
High Republic, let's go.
Where they messed up in Acolyte. They just did it, and there were good characters that they could have flushed out a lot better. And just the way it ended, just the way how it happened.
Yeah, again, that's the thing. Like I thought Squid Game was great. I thought Daphne Keene was great.
Yep.
Again, I liked you know, Jason Mendoza. They're all wasted.
Wasted characters. Wasted story. So now let me ask y'all a question. Do they real quick, do they erase Acolyte from the whole, like, you know, they did that with Willow.
They did what?
They did that with Willow. Like, they got rid of Willow off of Disney Plus. He's gone. Like, it's
you mean well, there's no part of what mythos, that in the one movie? Like, nobody cares.
But can you just get rid of everything from Acolyte and be like, well,
they're not gonna
pretend it never happened?
Yeah. No. It's like, it didn't count. Like, it didn't count.
No. I don't know.
Do over.
I think they can do that shit.
Did you ever watch Willow? There's a reason that show got taken off. That show was crazy bad.
Yeah, but the same thing with Acolyte. Like, it don't. I think it just there's no reason for it.
Acolyte's better than Willow.
Yeah, but if you canceled it, you didn't have faith in it. So basically, just wipe it out.
That's not true. Every show that gets canceled doesn't mean I have faith in it. There's a lot of other things that go into a show. Like,
but this is
you look at operating costs and everything else like that. There's so much that goes into it. And the thing is again, what they didn't do here, what they did with a lot of things, the show could stand on its own, and it could just be this one little snippet in time of this story. But for them to kind of continue on, there was no additional toys. There's no all that other stuff that goes into this.
It'll be one of those things that if it comes back, it's going to come back in like 10 years. And you're like, oh my God.
And that's what I said, like Darth Plagueis, right? Because they've already dropped Darth Plagueis in the story there. And that's why, like,
will they delete it though? Will they delete it?
No, they're not deleting Star Wars.
That would be awesome if like they did a Darth Plagueis show and then like here comes Darth Teeth. And he's like talking to Darth Plagueis, and he's like, "What happened to Osha?" And he's like, "Who cares?" Fair enough. Moving on.
I don't understand why you wouldn't think they would do that.
I just don't think they'll do it.
Do they do it like some of those old shows from the 80s to where they'll do a whole nother thing and they'll be like, well, whatever happened? Oh, their ship crashed, and then just move on.
Yeah, just delete it. I'm telling you, I put money on it. They're going to delete that thing from Disney Plus. I put money on it.
See, delete from Disney Plus is two different things, right? They're not going to delete it. If they take it off, eventually it'll come back because they rotate things in. Every streaming service does it now. They pull things off, and it's
Star Wars content. Star Wars content's been on here day one.
Right. I'm not saying that they're taking Star Wars content out. I don't think they're going to take this off.
Me neither.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens. I want to know where they're going to go further with this. Like, how are they going to play this one? Like,
they're going back to reflect.
Yeah.
And fucking try to figure this shit out because something ain't working. And Marvel was doing the same thing. And then they released Deadpool and Wolverine, and they're like, okay. I think we like warmer, you know. They just got to get back there. Star Wars has just been so hit and miss. The good has been so good, but the bad has been so bad that it's like it's not teetering one way or the other. It's just kind of your feelings about Star Wars, or like what's the last thing you saw?
Sure.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm hoping that this next show is going to be great. It just makes me forget about everything that I just watched. So we'll see how it plays out. But
so that's the perfect transition into the great Star Wars movie we just rewatched.
Yeah. Well, let's see. All right. Well,
do you have a trailer?
Do I need a trailer for that?
If we can't do it, we're live.
You know what? There are Fernando. There are no toys for Andor. I mean, that's a good point.
That's still, but at no point when I was watching that was I ever like, Mandalorian watching it, like I could totally like, But like not with Andor. Like, what am I gonna have like some
It's
old
a
man
spot, yeah.
yelling at somebody in the alleyways?
You've got Skeleton Skarsgård toys in different uniforms and different costumes because he's like, hiding
You can
out.
actually make him.
I mean, they did have Rogue
make
One
him
toys.
shirtless like Selvig.
Yeah.
He's just like standing in the alleyway with
He's just
shirtless.
running around in his
I
underwear.
gave up everything. Oh God.
He's got the old man holes in his underwear.
Yeah, the Andor toys would all be anatomically correct, so it'd get weird.
I need Cyril to come with his bitter mom.
There you go. So I do want to call out one thing that was very interesting. I never really picked up on it until this time watching the family. It was like almost like the first line of the movie with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon where they're getting there. And he's like, I feel, and it was Obi-Wan. He's like, I something doesn't feel right. Something
He
like
said, I have a
all
bad
over,
feeling about this.
No, he didn't say I have a bad feeling about this. Like, I don't think that was the exact quote. He just said it's something. It's like he said everything's
Now
More
clouded.
elusive.
He said something. It's clouded. Like
Yeah, it's something more elusive.
yeah. So exactly that was the thing. And I'm like, that's interesting because like,
Well, damn, I didn't even
Yeah,
start
but-
right what I was going to start off with. Damn, man.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we're getting
I thought-
into we're going to jump into our Phantom Menace and Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace review. Thank you, Alil, for not letting me talk about it real quick. Again, released in 1999, directed by George Lucas, distributed by 20th Century Fox. The box office on this was $1.46 billion. The budget
Big
was
money.
115. Again,
Less than Acolyte.
yes. The cast was Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson, Jack Lloyd, Natalie
Jake
Portman,
Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd, sorry, Natalie Portman, Keira Knightley, Ian
Natalie, everybody had a crush on Natalie Portman.
Yep, Ahmad Best, Ray
Oh.
Park, Samuel L. Jackson, Terrence Stamp, Kenny Baker, and many, many more.
I just like to point something out. I went ahead and Googled what's Obi-Wan's first line in The Phantom Menace. Obi-Wan, Ian McGregor says, and I quote, I have a bad feeling about this. Boom.
Okay, well then maybe it was the second line. All right, I was just saying, like he said that there's a cloud around everything.
Yeah, it's not about the mission, it's about something else. Where elusive. He says something about elusive.
Yeah,
It's more
so-
elusive.
So
Don't center on your anxieties.
So my question to you guys: did everybody see this in the movie theaters?
Oh
At
my
the time?
God, yes.
Yes.
In costume.
I've seen every single Star Wars movie in the theater, even the original trilogy when they were re-released.
So we were all excited day one when we all went and seen this. We were all
Oh, hell yeah.
giddy about it. I'm pretty sure.
We'd all been watching that same fucking music video on Total Request Live for the last 6 months.
Wow, I forgot
Wait,
about that.
what music?
Clash of the Fates. They had Duel of the Fates. I mean, they had Duel of the Fates with like behind the scenes footage and like
We
fucking fight choreography and shit. And like they had a whole and that shit.
I
Was
never
on.
watched Total.
That was the number one video on MTV for like weeks leading up to Star Wars.
I didn't watch.
How the hell did you avoid? How did you avoid Total Request Live? There's no way. Did you watch?
I didn't
Marshall
watch it.
Daly? Come on, man.
You watch MTV?
I didn't watch it.
So you didn't watch Rap City or no? You didn't watch none of that.
No,
Yo, MTV Raps.
I stopped watching MTV like in 1992.
Hit My Ride.
You know what? Pimp My Ride. Like
Exhibit. Come on.
Real
man.
Girl?
They did like
I don't
weird
watch
shit.
any of that.
Fernando remembers.
yeah, I remember
That's
too.
it. I didn't watch any of that stuff. Like I stopped watching. I think
I tried.
It was the Real World season 2 was my finale with MTV. I'm like, I'm done with this stuff.
So one of the biggest influence of Phantom Menace was actually young Indiana Jones. So which is really great. I'm looking at facts like about that, which is really cool. Like a lot of character design and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff was. Yeah, I forgot about young Indiana Jones to be honest. I don't really remember it that much, but Jar Jar Binks was originally supposed to have green skin.
I don't know
Ooh.
how young Indiana Jones influences.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest influence of the Phantom Menace was young Indiana Jones.
At no
I
point
think
did River Phoenix ever say yippee.
Yeah.
Multiple times
No.
in the damn movie.
well that wasn't
Well,
that
some of the
wasn't River
technique-
Phoenix.
And Young Indiana Jones?
No, that was a TV show.
Yeah.
It was a yeah.
That's
no,
right.
he
It
was
it
in the
series.
movie, wasn't he? In the
movie,
he was in the movie in the
He was
flashback.
the
Yes, he
flashback.
played. Yes, in.
Damn it, I forgot. Sorry.
But I think the reason that would be is when they put that out, because that was a prequel show to Indiana Jones, which kind of brought George Lucas back around to go, hey, wait, you know what? I want to do this, but I want to do the big scale version for Star Wars. So that's the inspiration.
It was
So
Sean
the
Patrick
inspiration is
Flannery,
doing
son of a bitch. He was one of the Boondock Saints.
So not only did the significant number of television crew and the production team later work on the Phantom Menace from Young Indiana Jones, some of the techniques that were perfected while filming the series were used on episode 1. Rick McCullum, producer of the prequel, called the show a testing bed to learn a new way of making films.
That's typical Lucas.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there was a lot done with this prequel trilogy that was cutting edge once again to the movie industry. I don't think it ages quite the same way that the original trilogy does. Like that props and everything they did. I mean, you can watch it today and see that opening of A New Hope and be like, wow. Some of the CGI in this, it just doesn't age well.
So the green screen is rough in some spots. You can see the cutouts almost.
Ewan McGregor had to have a dialogue coach to work to do this movie, also, which was
accent was a little thick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, I think overall this movie had great potential. There's just some big things in it, especially the audio.
Mm-hmm.
The ADR is bad. It's so bad.
And the pod racing sound effects give me a headache all.
You know what?
Listen, I love today when I watched it. I love the pod racing scene.
Yo,
I was into
I
it.
am,
I was like,
Steve, I am on the
yes.
same boat you
When-
on.
When Sebulba was all up on fucking Anakin shit, it was like, like right
Yo.
by his head. I was like, yo, that shit is
Steve,
tense right now.
Yo, I am going to be honest with you.
Sound
The
effects
pod
are great.
racing shit was fucking epic. Like
I know.
will be
I thought it was
honest.
great.
Yo,
The
watching it
Tusken Raiders
again,
are out there taking shots. I'm like, come on now. Like,
Yeah.
I need a racing game. I need a pod
No.
racing game. Like
They have them.
No, a better one. Not Nintendo 64. A better one.
They did an updated version of it.
When?
It came out on the Switch.
It did. They do have one. But I think watching it again now, it actually holds up really fucking well. Like it was actually fun. I was like, yo, this shit is fun as hell. It was like watching like Wacky Racers or some shit
And
like
there's
that.
something that's almost nostalgic now about like early CGI creatures that are like in this movie, like where like I can see the shine on it, the uncanny valley. It doesn't look like it's really there, but I don't know, there's something nostalgic about it. And I'm like, aw, look at them go. They were doing some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. Like I don't know, when I was watching it, I was thinking of Alil, and he was like, I hate this. He's like, I remember you saying I don't like it. I'm like, damn, this is actually really good. Like it works. It really does work for the movie. And as much as like I think while watching it, I got adjusted to Jake Lloyd as a young character because he's a kid. And it actually as a kid actor, he's gonna act like a fucking kid. Like that's how any kid would act. If they
gave him a bad script.
They did, but there were like things that said there were like things like, but this was his first like acting role. Like, damn, I felt a little.
Wasn't he?
I can.
He was in that the Christmas movie.
I'm not gonna say that anything. Yeah, he was in Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
but that was Was that before that or after?
I think that was after this.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I'll have to ask Rob since Rob was in it. So,
It
Rob,
doesn't matter.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm asking Rob right now.
But
but the problem is that I have with this movie and the second time around is like, so they're landing on here. There's some trade dispute. There's a blockade. They're trying to like. There's some like big Senate. There's some big moving and pushing and like power plays, and we're gonna do this invasion and all. Everything sounds big, but then it looks very small. Right. Like this looks like one very small city invading another very small city.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like one collection of planets invading another planet. And I get that a lot of that is like scale and scope, and maybe that's like because that I've noticed that that's kind of like throughout Star Wars. That's kind of a theme. Like I talked about that on Mandalorian when like Bo-Katan and her 4 friends were like, "We're taking back Mandalore." I'm like, "That's it? Just the 4 of you with a couple of sticks?" And they did. Goddamn, whole planet, just like that. But that's like my big thing. Is just like everything just feels small. Like even all the stuff on Naboo, like we're crashing into the castle, we're doing the thing. I'm like, there's 8 of you, like, and you all have sidearms. Like, what are you doing?
But remember, that's how rebellions are born.
This is a
This isn't a rebellion yet.
Yeah,
But
this
it
was
was
an
a
invasion.
rebellion.
This wasn't. This was a one
They
system of planets invading
rebelled.
another planet, and that planet defending themselves. It was
But that
no
was their
rebellion.
planet, so they went back in and got their shit back, like the like they had to.
It seems like all of this would have much more people involved. Is all.
I agree.
It was a COVID era movie, 20 years before COVID.
Yeah,
The
crazy.
one,
This thing's fucking 25 years old though.
yo,
Crazy.
the one thing I hated about this movie, I'm gonna tell you right now, I fucking hated Jar Jar Binks. Even till this day,
He gets worse with each viewing.
Oh yeah,
he made no fucking sense.
Wooed.
It was so stupid. I
hated it.
hated it.
Hated
If you deleted him away from it, this would have been we would have been fine.
oh yeah. It was way too corny.
Yeah.
Jingle All the Way was 96. Phantom Menace was 99.
Okay. Anyway.
And so then he doesn't have an excuse, Lil. Fucking there you go.
You get 3 years to get an acting
practice.
coach.
And he karate kicked Sinbad in the dick before this movie, so he should have been on his game.
Exactly. No, but I thought the opening was really good and really strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they escaped and did all that stuff, like it got boring.
You know what I love? Look at these guys. The production quality on the aliens, this costuming, the backgrounds, the production design, and completely top to bottom, in and out. Creatively, this movie is a masterpiece.
Yeah, the Nemoidians look good.
Even if some of the effects don't hold up, it's still like it's just a movie full of gorgeous pictures.
The speaking part for the Nemoidians, that's another one that's bad. I mean, just the way that they here.
Do you think she suspects an attack?
I don't know. But we must move quickly to disrupt all communications down here.
So
Sounds like it's awfully Mickey Rooney 16 Candles-ish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It feels racist, but at the same time, I'm like, I could say that, but then I'm like, damn, like the motherfucker who did the production art, Doug Chang, fucking did all the production art for this shit. So like, I can't, like, he watched the movie.
Listen, it's not racist. It's just it just sounds like.
and even when they have the other ones with like the things in their eyes, I mean, this was one that always stood out to me.
Sir, they've got the ventilation shot.
It just doesn't even sound like they tried on it. It's like, hey, who's got a mic around here? Here, you come over here and say this line. Like,
yo, it don't like they could have used anybody.
But you know what? Honestly, Ed, it's like I hear that shit, but at the same time, if there was any other voice, it wouldn't be Star Wars anymore. Like, it has to be this voice. It has to be this. This shit is part of Star Wars. This is.
Oh no, you can't change it now. Yeah, you can't change it.
Wow.
You can't change it. You know the first CG shit they worked on in this movie, you wouldn't believe what it was. It was Watto. That was the first CG piece that they worked on in this movie.
He looks the best, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, these guys here, these little roly-poly fucking guys with the shields, fuck these guys in every video game they're in. The worst.
Oh, well, that's why they run from them.
Droidicus? Droidicus are the worst.
And this is the moment
in any video game.
The moment we get to see the Jedi with superpowers that they never use again.
Never use that shit again. I was like, yo, Jedi can do that. I didn't know they could run that fast.
Boom.
Never seen it again.
I mean, that's them right there. You could see their lightsabers, the green and the blue. They are a blur.
Yo,
they are moving that
It
fast.
was like a Benny Hill skit.
I know, it's like, oh, I'm surprised their feet didn't do that like Flintstone sound, like they rolled like.
Yo, they never used that ever again. And I was always wondering why they never used that. Like, I think they do like a high jump too at some point, or they jump down. I can't remember.
They always jump around really high in some like, but
Right.
then they never do it when they need to. I don't know. Like I always kind of thought like with like the pushing and pulling powers and all that, the reason they didn't do that in lightsaber fights more is because like it takes concentration and like you have to focus on that shit. But somebody's swinging a lightsaber at you, it's a little hard to maybe conjure that move up right off the top. But jumping and like you could be the Flash, like yo, pull that power out all the time. Like I'd be dipping and dodging people all the time. Like poof, bam, you're stabbed. Poof, bam, you're stabbed.
Like, you would think, right? I guess I don't understand their power sometimes. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
No consistency.
Yeah,
there is no Jedi consistency power. Like one motherfucker can pull down a goddamn starship, and then you don't see that shit ever again.
And another guy has like trouble holding up two 80-pound little girls. Like,
yeah. I'm like, wait, what is the power parameter here? I don't get
Yeah.
Well, Ewan McGregor's power clearly is his hairstylist because he's got a whole thing going.
Yeah. Hello?
Favorite character?
Oh,
Will you all right?
I love you.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to add, so I don't. I'm not gonna.
He's been laughing at some of the jokes.
Ugh.
Hey, all this is better than Aquaman 2.
Delete all that.
I agree. This looks great, but to take it out of this movie, like put it in a short. Like this stuff took so long.
Agreed.
And got us to a like. Again, I'm like, oh my god.
I liked the scene. I liked when they were leaving this place and they were like in the little submarine ship and going through like the big monsters and all that. That felt very. That's kind of like my little kid version of Star Wars. All the big monsters, right? That's what I remember most from watching them as a kid. The big space worms, the big monsters in Ewoks. Here, the big monsters under the sea. This is all. I love all that shit.
Perfect.
All this stuff here in the city.
That's what he says when they see it.
There's always a bigger fish.
But then Jar Jar tried his best to fuck up that whole scene.
Jar Jar does that in every scene.
Every scene. Oh, I'm going back now. I'm like, what is this? Like,
I like their architecture and shit though. That was cool. The Gungans.
Yeah. And even the droids. I mean, I know we got used to it, especially through the Clone Wars, but really?
Check it out, Corporal. We'll cover you. Roger,
Yeah.
Roger.
The dumbest damn robots I've ever seen. Like, what is wrong with, like, I know it's not the Empire, it's the Trade Federation, but like, come on, y'all gotta do better. Like, y'all gotta do better.
Careful, man. The Trade Federation.
The Droidicus is dope.
Yeah. Why don't they just make just all droidicas? You can make like 10 of them and take over a universe.
Yeah, literally. Like, you got these dumbass fucking robots that don't do shit.
We get introduced to R2. As
Was
his
R2
buddies
missing
all his buddies get blown away.
Yo, I felt bad. I feel bad when droids get killed. I'm not gonna hold you. Every time I see a droid get killed, I feel bad because I feel like they have a soul.
I would have been real. I was waiting for R2 to like make like a really sad sound after the second one went off. He was like, "Oh," like that would have made you. Could you imagine?
That would have been great.
Just be like, "Oh,
It's like, fuck.
that robot had a soul." Like, you feel bad because it has
This was the point where my wife looked at me and was like, "So, how does?" Like, she had a real big problem. It wasn't this moment, but like she had a real big problem with how she gets with Anakin.
Oh yeah, no.
I think we all.
She's like, I don't get
It's
how.
not great.
No.
But this scene made me crazy because, okay, so I get that she kind of goes back and forth between being the queen and then being one of the handmaidens for her protection. Okay, that's fine. Prior to this, you've got Kira as the queen, and she's just standing there, and they're having a serious discussion about what to do. Then her stand-in as the queen goes, "Hey, why don't you leave this important meeting and go clean the droid?"
Well, they were trying to play up to that,
Yeah,
Well,
but
but she's not there for the important meeting. Like how?
Well,
I guess
come
I guess
back
it
and
was
tell her everything, right?
Nah. That was one of the moments I'm like, really?
I think they're all coordinating. I think they're all because they're trying to play.
This is Star Wars. I mean, Ed, if this was Game of Thrones and this happened, then later on that night, the Queen would kill that handmaid, that lady that was like, "You sent me to kill a clean a droid, I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah,
But
I think they were just playing to the roles of what they had to play that role of. Okay, this is you, this is me, this is you, this is me. It's like
they had to finally let Natalie Portman stop talking with that terrible dialect.
Yeah. Ugh.
We get introduced to Anakin.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Oh yeah, no, I have that.
Do you have any of him talking in like Watto's language where he's like Sapoka Doga do Chakaja?
No. When he tries to speak in Huttese,
yes.
no, that's so bad. So C-3PO.
This was cool. I like this. I thought it was cool.
I like that.
It's awfully convenient that Darth Vader's the one that built C-3PO, but
I know, and it never comes back to fruition. Like it never comes back later on. Like, I
at no point is Darth Vader ever like, hey, like he's like when Chewbacca's running around Cloud City with C-3PO on his back. Darth Vader's not like, hey, wait a second, wait a second,
or he doesn't have like the control of C-3PO, like fucking turn off, turn on, turn evil. Like he don't have like you built this.
Could you imagine? He's like, oh, I have something, and in Return of the Jedi, he's like, I have something. Hits a switch, and C-3PO's eyes just turn red.
So I'm confused.
Yes.
So this is crazy. Did Darth Vader just completely lose his whole mind? Like, did he forget everything when he turned to Darth Vader? Anakin.
No, it's just non-continuity.
It really is a thing. It's
he remembers shit when it's convenient to the story.
When it's convenient.
If you're talking about the droids, you have to go back to one of the original comments that Lucas made, that droids are like toasters. They have no meaning to anyone in this universe because they're everywhere doing everything. So they have no sentimental value, which is why people are like, yeah, whatever. I mean, he basically built one as a toy. It doesn't mean you're going to remember it when you're 40 years old and slaughtering and taking over the universe. You're going to look back and go, maybe, I don't know. So
I don't know. These motherfuckers got whole ass personalities and memories.
Got souls, man.
like R2D2 is cracking jokes left and right. He's got people laughing in these movies. So I'm just
you can't remember that. Like, how you don't remember that, Vader? I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but
it's not like this is the only time. Like he deals with him in all the movies.
He's seen him in certain areas. Like,
that, and you figure we go through 3 movies, all 3 prequels, and then when you get to the next one, to A New Hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi's like, I don't ever remember a droid.
I know.
Like,
come on.
So none of them do.
I can see his excuse because he may be just senile. He was old. Yeah. Anakin wasn't, which is really weird. Also, at the same time.
Well,
see, the thing is, here's what really happened. When they wrote that movie, they didn't expect to be doing any of this shit. So,
True. That's true.
All right, so, back to reality.
Dopest reveal in almost all of cinema history. When the music video came on TRL, although I know you don't know what I'm talking about, it don't matter. But when this motherfucker turned his head and you saw that face, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what this is, but this is the greatest thing on the planet.
It was awesome.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, I remember when I bought all the toys and stuff. He was on the card art and everything, and I was like, I still remember what Taco Bell had the cup toppers with all the characters. You had to get the Darth Maul one. I had a double bladed lightsaber. I had all that, because you saw his face, and you're like, this is gonna be the coolest character ever.
1999. We're still in the height of the extreme sports. Everything's got X's, and this is just tribal tattoos. Remember when tribal tattoos were a big thing? So like, this is just nailing all the aspects of it.
This movie may have been the most hyped movie in the world.
Oh, of course.
And probably the most hyped Star Wars movie ever. Like literally, I'm gonna probably say this was probably one of the most hyped movies ever. I remember this was everywhere on everything, and like not even back in the day, when Star Wars was released in the first time, there was never this big.
So
this
it was 6. So this came out 16 years after.
Yeah.
The third movie, which it seemed at the time like, oh my god, I didn't think we were ever going to get a new Star Wars movie. This is crazy.
Nope.
Like the distance between sequels now is like way bigger in some franchises. Like it's just crazy how time works.
Yeah.
We got the Darth Maul when he came out. We got the first line.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
I mean,
You have been well trained, my young apprentice.
And then this is the part that I a little hated, the wacky racers part, but I thought it was cool.
You can see the CGI on those little things.
Oh man! hey, Steve, the crowd that was in the pod racer scene was actually San Francisco 49ers fans.
Was it?
Yep, sure was. Yep.
So
look at this.
No, I hate this movie even more.
Hero.
This scene caused so much controversy, not only then, but even still today. Because
we need a midichlorian count.
Midichlorians.
They, to me, I kind of just want to. I want to take midichlorians, the concept of it, the reality of it, and I'm just gonna tuck it away, way back here where it don't mean anything anymore. And just leave it over there.
They should have recalled it something else.
They're calling it M. They're calling it M count now.
M count now.
Yeah.
Right? That's right.
This is, I don't know. This is where I get a little crazy because, I get that you've got this new CGI technology, but they went totally batshit crazy when it came to creating these pod race pilots.
You know what? I would have
like
did this.
Ben Quadraneros, really? What the hell?
I would have did the same shit if I was working on this shit. I'd have made every fucking alien on the planet look fucking crazy. I would have did everything.
It was also. I mean, I don't want to say cheaper to film, but it's probably easier for them to film because of the speed and everything. They're moving everything with the CG and just having one human character, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So just create these characters because you're gonna blow them up anyway.
Yeah.
And move along.
Like,
this is, I don't know. This is my, and I've said this with several other Star Wars things. You've created a universe to where I know every time they make a new movie, the director, the production crew, they all want to put their own stamp on it. But I like when they play within the universe. And while you can give me a couple of new species, that was one of my issues with even the sequel movies. It's like they totally forgot what we'd already seen. It's nothing ties together. In this entire group here, there's one alien that looks familiar. Nothing else is familiar.
Not the Riri's character.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that though. Like that doesn't bother me. I think like I like seeing more aliens. I'm fine.
I get what Ed's saying though, but like, look, if maybe you have a Twi'lek in there. Maybe you have something else in there, that a Gamorrean guard in there or something like that. You know what I mean? Like add some characters in there that we've seen before with some of these new ones. Like add some cohesion to some of this shit.
Yeah,
Make it feel like this is every movie. You're just like, okay, what galaxy is this? Because I ain't never seen any of these motherfuckers before. Those ones are blue and fuzzy. Where the fuck are those come from? But
and we never really see these characters ever again. It actually would have been cool, but see, then it'd have been like, oh, well, now you're using characters from the cantina now. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. This is still Tatooine, right? Yeah, it's still Tatooine. They could have used,
right? Yeah, and you could take the ones from the canteen and make them better. They don't have to be like the 1970s off the horror rack, but you can still use the same concepts. So. And tying into similar concepts, I love the fact that the Tuskens are sitting on the one corner of the race just trying to shoot people.
Yeah,
amazing. That was a nice touch. I love the little celebration. That's good shit. They almost got Anakin with a headshot. I mean, could you imagine? It's like,
movie's over.
Movie over, done.
It's all Batum is like do. It cuts back to the mom and fucking Natalie Portman look at each other. Credits.
And what do you want to point out on this one? Done.
No, it's
that's-
just that he wins.
Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick Davis as the Rhodian.
See this one. Look, this feels like a Star Wars scene. I got two aliens in there that I recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did not do a very good job in this movie.
I think it was a sucker move of them not taking her. I don't even understand why they ain't take. Because guess what? If they would have took her, they wouldn't have the problems they had now. He would have never probably been Darth Vader.
Let's forget the fact that he like saves a fucking planet. Like maybe you could pool your resources and go out buy my mom.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
she's right
I
over
mean-
there. She's right over there. Like I just saved your whole planet. So like maybe you could like hook me up and like
Yeah,
get my mom
pull some
back.
strings with your counsel. Like, come on,
I
dog.
mean, she's just a slave. Like he was gonna get her on like a dice roll. Like it can't cost that much. Like,
No,
sure,
she's the
there's
one.
no-
He was trying to give her away.
Yeah,
And why not go double or nothing, Qui-Gon? Like what the hell? Like you could have
I know.
said,
Is somebody gonna really stop you, bro? You a Jedi.
yeah.
Come
yeah.
on.
You
This is a
just
sucker
pull
move.
out your lightsaber, snip his little wings off. What's he gonna do? Run after you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a sucker move. I don't like that. Like, I blame a lot of this shit on Qui-Gon.
They create their own problems. Well, not even I don't blame Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon.
I
That's what the
agree.
acolyte
They
is trying
create
to tell
their
us, Sean.
They
The
create their own
Jedi
problems.
create their own problems.
Yeah. Universal.
Yo, Jedi suck.
And Qui-Gon, the way he walks in, he's like, hey, you're not a slave
I've been
anymore.
saying this since you
Oh,
started
but you
doing
are.
this show.
And he's like, what about my
And now
mom? And
you
he's like,
say
Wait, say it again, Steve. I'm sorry.
sorry, no, what were you saying?
What you saying?
I said Sean said Jedi suck, and I'm like, I've been saying this
Yeah,
since
he
the
has been.
start of this show. Like they're a bunch of bitches.
I was just saying it was kind of like fucked up how Qui-Gon like rolls in. He's basically like holding Anakin, like, hey, like back from the fair. He's like, you're not a slave anymore. And he's like, yippee. And you're like, what about my mom? And she's like, no, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't come here to save slaves. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like,
Yeah,
what-
you literally did that.
you
Just
literally just did that.
you just did it
Well-
halfway.
Like, he even says that line too, like when they're going with them back to Naboo, and he's like, "Well, we're not here to fight a war, we're not here for that. We're just here to protect her." Then all of a sudden, Darth Maul pops out. Oh, we've got this, and it's like, why do you have that and not everything else that's going on?
Exactly.
Like, explain this to me. So
They part ways. I mean, I get like I guess I kind of understand in the world of Star Wars, but another bad CGI moment where he's like, Anakin, drop, and he drops like, I mean, 1 second, one like he's like, huh, bam, credits. Like so many moments of just like instant.
There are at least two more moments, Steve, that you're like, oh,
Like,
done.
Imagine this scene. Look at this picture right here, but just imagine like he just tripped. Like oh.
Oh.
what if
Get up!
Maul would have killed him right there?
Yeah, what if Maul just like fucking force pulled him onto his lightsaber? Shish kebabbed him. Like, what's up?
It's done.
Maul wasn't that good. That's why he wasn't that good of a Sith.
And then we get grooming.
Oh, this is the.
You said grooming?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think
Safe
I
sport.
through this part. I didn't even think about that shit, Steve, like you just said it. Oh, grooming. You
Yeah.
just focus on the mission and getting the kid. All right.
That's Qui-Gon, yeah.
Yeah, this
Grooming.
part. Yeah, it was.
I'll leave that one alone.
Yep.
Just a Jedi Council. All they do is just sit here the whole fucking time while there's a war going on, and they ain't
Sure.
doing shit.
There's Yaddle.
Yaddle. Yeah.
I like how everyone has their like own custom chairs. like nobody can move seats. Like, that's one of those rooms where you walk in, you're like, get the fuck out of my chair. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
huh? Like, yeah,
they
it's not
can fit
cheap.
one butt cheek on Yoda's chair.
Well,
Yeah,
Yaddle
like sideways and uncomfortable.
Yeah, he just like,
Look at it.
and it's
He's
What's the dude's name from Acolyte? What was his name? With the tall
what's his-
head.
Coyote
Look at him with his legs all spread, sitting all.
Spread eagle. Gross.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of them chairs. So you got me looking at them chairs, Steve. I'm like, you know, Mace Windu, like, you better get the fuck out my chair.
Yeah, Mace Windu's chair looks tough.
Oh man. All right. Moving on. Trying to speed through this.
I like the look of the Senate. It's a
it's
really
great.
cool. I mean,
And
great concept.
First thing I thought of was like, what a great place to have a fight scene. We're not going to get it in this movie, but we're going to get it.
Yep. Anakin gets his test.
Fails.
Yoda's a piece of shit in this. Yoda's a dick in this. He's like, "Are you afraid?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I think you miss your mom. You miss your mom, little boy? You miss your mom, little boy? Oh, are you afraid? Oh, are you sad? Oh, well, if you're fucking sad, that's going to lead to anger and suffering. You're going to be a fucking bad guy." Like, God damn. He was a slave yesterday.
Yo.
Like, he was a slave. He just did this crazy. He just won a pod race. Oh, you can never do that. God damn. Why don't you cut the kid some fucking slack?
It's true. That's why they suck. I mean,
yo, they do suck, man. They do suck. Yo, they ain't shit. And then they got all those other younglings in there who got killed. Like, come on, bro, for real, you gonna put this little kid in there? Like, yo, they could have saved y'all if y'all would have did that.
Can you imagine? They put Jake Lloyd in there and all these little kids that are like 2 grades younger than him, punking him and shit. Get out of here, nerd. Slave. No.
Pod race this, motherfucker. Fuck out of here.
He comes in. They add a line they add a line at Anakin when he goes and kills all the younglings. It's payback time, bitches.
Yeah, and when he goes back there, he starts having flashbacks of when
he got rejected.
When he first got punked by a bunch of younglings.
Tears. One tear comes down and he sees them. It's fucking payback time.
The little kid that's like, "Master Anakin, what are we gonna do?" He looks down and he sees like his face morph into his bully, his childhood bully. He's like,
oh man, see, you got me crying.
All makes sense now. It all makes sense.
Oh, see, you gave me a headache.
Jedi are the bad guys and all this stuff. That's it.
Oh, everything.
Yeah. So they're like, wait. I love how they have like centuries old beef. They're like, wait a second. So you don't think you're better than us? And she's like, no. He's like, tight. Let's do it. I'm like, I love that Star Wars is so simple. It's like, just talk. And like we could all just like get along. Like, okay.
Oh man.
All this stuff is good. I love the architecture design, again, the set design and all the Naboo Palace and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The guards, I like their costuming. All this stuff is cool. Very cool.
Yeah. There we go.
And
this was bullshit.
Yeah, this was a dumb scene. Like,
yeah, this is all dumb.
You're watching the cartoon. And if you go back and watch like in the background when you're supposed to be focusing on Jar Jar Binks, if you look in the background, there's just like Gungans and androids like wrestling over rifles like this. A whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy.
It's all the same, like copy and paste. It's all
maybe the best reveal almost in like movie history when that second blade popped out.
Music, the fight scene.
God. That changed everything.
It was and you just like
when that second blade popped out, that changed Star Wars. You were like, oh shit.
It did.
And his moves,
different things are possible now. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Shit, change the game. He's like,
and watching the fight scene, like, no wonder why Qui-Gon died. I mean, like, he wasn't like,
he was open the whole time. Whole time. Bro. he was like
it was an easy thing, yeah.
But it still was like the choreography was fine. Like, it was good in some parts, but a lot of parts it was like close-ups of them just like doing angry faces. But I liked the aspect of the fight.
Was getting it in though, dog.
The aspect of the fight that was the best was the red barriers. And like you have fucking Qui-Gon meditating while Darth Maul is just pacing back and forth. giving him the fucking stink eye. I love that shit.
That shit was.
Well,
man.
and I mean, like, and that's what I picked up on watching it again tonight was like Ewan McGregor, like he's always been really. I mean, he was good in episode 3. Like we saw the saber battle in that, and like him and I mean they were going at it, right? But he even had the moves here. Like he was spinning that saber and stuff in his hands. Even like, and I'm just like, I was watching. I was like, you know what? I didn't pick up on the nuances that he would do, but he continued to carry that over. Like
And he does
worked
his little
really
hand
hard.
moves. You know, he's got his little. He's starting his own little signature styles here.
Yeah, and
So-
and like he worked hard at it. I was a little shocked. Not that I knew that I loved this fight scene, but it was more. My focus was always on Darth Maul, but I was focusing on Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, he's pretty good.
They went through 300 aluminum lightsabers while filming the Phantom Menace.
Oh, they beat the hell out of them.
They just beat the shit out of them things, man. That's crazy.
And then while this is happening, Jake Lloyd gets kidnapped by a spaceship and flown into a space battle.
Hey Steve, there was that one ship that went down, and you seen that scene where it just went all the way down. I was like, 1 second later, boy, that could have been Anakin dead again.
Again, he oopsie daisies his way through instant death so many times.
And just plays it off, and that's
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
like
It's like, I know we're in trouble. Just hang on. Like,
He's just like, oh, this kid got luck. He got a horseshoe in
fucking
his ass.
psychopath.
Yeah.
Don't train him. He has no concept of life, like at all.
This grapple hook scene was cool. I actually like that scene. I don't know why.
Except look at the captain. He is freaked out. He's like, "Ah!"
yeah. Well, you see when they step out on the ledge, they're like 100 feet up, not only from the building, but then there's the cliff, and you're holding on to the gun.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they're in gloves. Like they've been in a firefight. They're probably sweaty.
Batman did it. I'm just gonna say they're all bad.
Those people wearing those big old dome hats, though. Like, what a pain in the ass to look up.
Fight scene, boom, boom.
Oh,
Yep,
if
and there it
only he
is.
was Sabine.
If only. If only.
Yeah, it was a little bit higher up. That's why.
I mean, that is like, that's like
that is straight through
right in the middle.
That's like right through the arteries.
That hit all the organs.
That is like,
yeah.
It looks like he went in and did like one of these. Like, you know,
That's what I was just about to say. That he should have like shook it a little bit, you know.
All you gotta do is go across like that and fucking just cut.
I don't understand why people ever stab anybody. Like, when is, you know, I would never stab anybody with a lightsaber. Constant swinging.
Yeah. Even if I didn't know how to use it, I'd be like,
yeah, whatever in front of me is getting cut in half.
As you say, you get that later. So
true.
Yeah.
And then there's the scene where all three of them are in peril. They get stopped. They get this. Qui-Gon dies, and it's like, okay. Oh, that's right. Anakin also is surrounded. And it's like, okay.
Now this is pod racing, or what did he say? Now that's what I call pod, or some shit. Did you have that clip? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
It's not coming through, Ed.
It's not coming through,
Those
Ed.
audios aren't coming through very well.
Sorry. No worries. And done.
Done.
Cut him in half. You didn't show the cut off half part because you know his face was all big and shit, and it went down.
He was so far down the pit by the time you see him like separate.
I just never understand. Like, what room are they in? What functionality is this force field room into the pit of death? Like, when they're building this building, they're like, actually, we need this corridor for like, what is this?
It supplies the energy for the entire city.
Is that what it was? The energy room?
That's what I'm making up in my head. They never tell you, but that's the only thing that you can assume, right? Like you see the bridges that they were fighting across and everything. Like,
see that panel behind Obi-Wan over there on the wall? Like, what if you're the maintenance guy that has to get to that? You gotta You saw Obi-Wan sprinted and didn't get to the end of those fucking. You got to sit there and wait. You're like, fuck, I gotta go. Fuck.
Well, remember from Robot Chicken, the maintenance guy, he's actually down at the bottom of this pit pushing the broom.
Remember, this was a trash pit, wasn't it? Because remember.
Oh, he does. He gets his robot legs down the trash pit.
Robot legs down there. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was
they have the worst trash.
Big ass trash compactor. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
They have a lot of garbage in the galaxy far, far
away. You just need somebody walking through all those force fields just to throw out a ban.
Maybe they're onto something. Because you know what we see? You know what we see in Star Wars? Big ass trash chutes like that, but no dumps anywhere. So maybe they're onto something.
There's a trash planet somewhere.
and then Anakin blows up the ship.
I need a movie on the trash planet.
Accidentally. And saves the day.
Yeah.
I'm assuming everybody noticed that at one point, the droid, see the number on the back, 1138.
Yes.
I didn't pay attention. What's that mean?
No, usually when these guys were on, I wasn't looking at the screen. So
that's one of the numbers that shows up in almost all the Star Wars because that was from Lucas's original THX 1138.
Robert Duvall. Look at that awesome fucking. Is that like the Imperial Guard helmet back there? But it's
black ones. Yeah, them
that shit.
Yeah, they was tough.
Yeah, but the faces are open.
Yeah,
you know.
Well,
and we will be watching your career. Yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
And then I just hated this ceremony.
Palpatine's got to jump off of that set and go to the Robin Hood movie filming down the street. Sheriff of Nottingham. Sam Jackson looks so fucking tight.
Does what was the scene, Ed? What they say in the scene?
This is when they're talking about always two there. Again, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but
yeah,
always two. No more. No less.
You know what?
Who was it?
I'm gonna take it back what we said before. I want a Mace Windu series where he survived and see
100%. 100% need more Mace Windu. 100%. There's a book series coming out.
Is it?
What's his name? Mark Bernardin wrote it. Dude that is partnered up with Kevin Smith. He wrote the series.
Oh, that's what's up. Damn, that's what's up. I'd like to see that. I might have to.
They have to have a. It's not a Star Wars movie unless there's a fucking parade at the end.
Terrible.
Did they play the dan 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 dan?
No, it was a different one. It was specific for this movie.
Oh, okay. I can't remember.
No, it had a happy ending.
Yep. And there's Anakin in his little Jedi robe, his new haircut.
Dick. That was it.
And that was it.
And then that man from Fanboys took that shit to his grave.
Yes, he did. But what if it sucks?
And it doesn't suck. You know what? It's one of those things. It's like if you're a Star Wars fan, episode 1, you will find the reasons that you like it, and you will focus on those when you watch it, and you'll do like I did today, and look away from the screen and do other things when Jar Jar Binks is on. But then, like I'm working on my iPad, and then like I hear the Duel of the Fates come on, iPad goes down, I'm in because I already know it's about to be awesome. Like, so
I mean, I'm hard on this movie, but at the end of the day, it's still a good movie. You know,
it's not bad.
It has a lot of good things on it, but I'm hard on it. You know, like because
you've watched it so many times, it's easy to pick out the
yeah, and again, like there's such annoyances, and you go to the Jar Jar scene. Like I get because I was watching the pod racing, I still don't like the not the when there are sound effects that are good, but it's just whatever that motor is that comes around. Just I don't know what it does.
It's a bulbous. It's like
yeah. It hits like something, and like my brain wants to explode.
That's like a frequency that's bad for a little head.
It's like scanners all of a sudden. Scanners.
pod racing sound effect unlocks like a little latent superpower. Like, ah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey
Well, there
man,
you
look,
go.
that was fun, man. I enjoyed that. That's our second time reviewing this, but remember we had an audio.
I think this one was way more fun than the first.
And guess
was.
what? It
We
probably
didn't have
won't be.
clips. We didn't have nothing.
It probably won't be our last time reviewing it. I'm sure we'll go back to it at some point again. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in about 10 years.
10 years.
We got to do what we got to do then next time is a commentary. Put it on, let it run in the background, and we just talk while it's on. Can't
man.
stop it, can't pause it, but you can just keep it going.
Like our own version of Mystery Science Theater.
100% yes. Now
That's
we
fantastic.
can't broadcast the movie, but we could all be watching it on whatever we want, right? And then we can do that very easily.
There's a way. There's a way.
We talked about doing that. I think we did one like that for.
There's also watch parties. There's like ways to do it just through your Amazon shit.
Yeah.
And Disney Plus. So lots of fun things to come.
So I'm not sure. Are we gonna do episode 2? I mean, episode 2 next week, or
that's what I thought the plan was.
all right. Well, as long as y'all on board for it, I'm cool with that. I know you had to take some time off, so I wasn't sure when you had
Not
to.
yet.
Okay. All right. So, join us here next week for episode 2.
It gets everywhere. Insane.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Oof. That's a talky one. So we're gonna have to go through that one. But yes, subscribe, man. Join us here next Wednesday. Let's have some fun. If you get a chance to watch Attack of the Clones, hey man, join the chat, and let's have some fun. But this is Sean signing off.
This is Steve.
And this is Ed.
And may the force be with you.
Always.
Oh,